Alright guys, so some of you requesting I show you how to remove the rear tire of the XP LITE. And I've got video of that from when I changed the stock ones out to these new BMX street tires. But basically I'll walk you through it quickly and then I'll show you the footage I did. And I think you can get a sense of how to do it. So let's start. But there's 6 bolts you can take off to take the tire off. You got to take off the 2 calipers for the 2 bolts for the caliper, brake caliper. That's one thing I forgot to do when I got the other stuff off. You got to take off the axle nuts. And you have to take off these little washer locks. These basically hold the wheel in place because if you look at the fork, it's a horizontal dropout essentially. And there's no groove in here. So before you take the wheel off, note the position this is in, because if you push it too far forward, you're gonna have too loose of a chain. If you push it too far, if you don't push it in enough, you're gonna have a really tight chain when you put the tire back on. So here's how I have it here. Nice, it's taut but not too loose. And basically these go in about 3/4 of the way on this grooved fork here. So it slides out, slides in, slide in about 3/4 of the way. And if I were you, I'd note, like with a marker, exactly where it's centered before you take it off. So unscrew the nut, note where it's centered with a marker, and that'll be the best way to do it. I wish I did that in the beginning when I installed this. Just pop out this wire guard, and you can unscrew the bolt there. You got to do it slowly with a 19mm wrench because this is in the way. And this just locks. There's a little flat piece in here that locks inside the fork area that secures it there. Don't forget to take the wire off the motor. Just unplug that. You don't need another. You need 2 more zip ties for here and also here. So 6 bolts, 2 zip ties, unplug the motor, and then you can get it off. When you're getting it off, also, you're going to basically take the chain off the sprocket, push it to this side, just knock it off, and put it to the right, and then you should have enough slack on the chain to actually pop it off the major chain ring here. That's basically how I did it. So at first I was like, okay, how do I get the chain off, because it's pretty tight unless you unscrew the chain, if you're familiar with how to do that, but I'm not. But yeah, so just loosen up these bolts. You can slide the wheel forward about a 1/2 inch. That should give you enough slack to get the chain off the chain ring. And it's going to let it hang on here and then slide the wheel off. So anyway, check out the footage, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. Got the bike in the stand, so the front tire should be relatively easy to get off, obviously, and change. The rear tire is a little more of a challenge. We're going to have to take out that there, but here is the motor wire, which we have to unplug, of course, first. And that goes directly through the axle here. And this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge to get out because there's a guard here. It's not a derailleur guard, but it's a motor wire guard, I guess you could say. So it's gonna be a tight wrench fit in here. Not much room to loosen it, so it might take me a while. All right, I've got this 19mm wrench, and it seems to work pretty well on this bolt back here, but not much room, so it's going to take me a few minutes to get this off. Haven't unplugged it yet, but it's coming off pretty easy. Or if I could just unscrew it at this point. Let's see. Nope. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, it's coming out now. Oh, yeah. All right, so I see what's going on here. So this is on both sides. This just locks the axle in place, or it's kind of like a guard against it. So this has come out as well. So you can slide, I think you just slide this out. It looks like the axle kind of has a flat point in there, maybe a groove or something. But it's not your typical dropout fork, is it? For these rear ones here, use a 10mm wrench. That works better. So a 19 for the big ones and a 10 for these. This is definitely some kind of locking washer in here. Okay. So there it is. And here's the locking washer. There's two washers back here. It's the regular one and this kind of this locking washer. So that's how it goes. Now I'm guessing this just slides out. Yes, okay, there is movement there. So I'm curious if there's some kind of groove in here because it just looks like it's all flat all the way across. Same deal over here. There's this locking washer and a regular washer in front of it. All right, the wheel's loosened up, that's for sure. That's the right side. Now, the question is, how does this wheel come out? Okay, just sliding out. The chain's preventing it. So, do I take the chain off? I gotta clip the zip ties off of the motor wire first. Alright, so the wheel definitely wants to come out. Chain needs to come off. Let's see. Chain off. Now what happens? I think the chain has to come off the other side. So push it forward a little bit. Let's see. Almost forgot to take the caliper off. Otherwise, this wheel is not coming off. Need a 5mm number 5 Allen key wrench here. This one way. All right, the caliper's off. Let's see if this comes out. And I believe we have it. Success. Here's a look at this side. Here's a look at this side. Now we got to deflate the tire and put the new one on. I'm going to, I won't show you that part of it, but once I get the new tire on, I'll show it to you and then we'll put it on the bike again.